Some moves will never mend.
In this video, I would like to do some first impressions of the BB58 GMT. Now, I was invited by my Tudor authorized dealer to a watch event like no other that I've been to. That AD is Brent Miller Jewelers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. As guests, we arrived at the authorized dealer at the specified time. We received some swag bags. We boarded coach buses for the secret off-site location. It ended up being a local cave system called Indian Echo Caverns. And I've got to say that Brent Miller went all out for this very unique event. They brought in couches and lighting, tables, catering, a DJ. They brought a watchmaker with a watchmaking bench. And of course, a selection of almost every current Tudor watch offering. I did not see the pink dial chronograph, unfortunately, but just about everything else was there in the cave system for this event. Ryan Miller, the store owner, spoke for a minute, as did Adam Bossy, Tudor's USA brand manager. I think the overall experience was just incredible and definitely one that I'll never forget. So it was there among friends that I first saw this BB58 GMT. I have a few thoughts to share with you about this watch. Now, how does this compare size-wise to the 41mm BB GMT? Well, this one is noticeably smaller, but it does carry the same familiar BB proportions, the same type of font and indexing, markers and hands. It's just scaled down a little bit. The crown does not have the coin edging like the 41mm version, but it does have the T-fit adjustable clasp in the bracelet, which the 41mm version does not, and I think that's a nice thing. Now, this 58 also wears thinner than the 41mm GMT does. The 41 does not have a deal breaker type of height, in my opinion, but it is a touch tall for some watch collectors' preferences. I would not say the same thing about this 58 version when it comes to the height and how it wears on wrist. Lastly, this 58 is META certified, unlike the 41mm GMT. That one is COSC certified. Does this new 58 feel too small? I would say no for most collectors. Sub 40mm sport watches are definitely trending right now. A lot of brands are getting on board. We're seeing an expansion of various offerings in the sport watch segment. So I think a lot of watch collectors are going to absolutely enjoy this sub 40mm size. Being a larger guy myself, I do prefer the 41mm version of the GMT. The Pepsi bezel opaline dial is my current favorite color scheme from Tudor for the GMT. So hopefully seeing these two side by side helps you get a sense of the scale of this new 58 release. So I don't think it wears too small on my wrist, but again, I do prefer the larger 41. Now, how are the colors? Tudor went with a red and black bezel insert. The material is aluminum. It has gilt tone indexing, so it is a modified Coke color scheme, and I've heard some watch collectors refer to this as the caffeine-free Diet Coke if you're going to be applying the beverage style nickname to the color scheme. I know some collectors also use superheroes to refer to various models from Tudor and Rolex. So I've also heard this being called the Iron Man. Let me know if you like caffeine-free Diet Coke or the Iron Man better. Kind of a silly thing that us watch collectors do, but I think the colors look really nice. The red stands out. It's sharp. The gilt tone indexing is rather muted, and I think this matches the gilt tone hands and markers on the dial very well. And I would say overall, with the color scheme, this watch is more understated than it is eye-catching. Now, another question. Would I choose this 58 GMT or would I choose a BB Pro? Because they're both true GMT complications and a similar size from Tudor. In my own opinion, I like the design of the Pro more. I love the steel fixed bezel. I love the thick ceramic loomed markers on the dial. I love yellow as the accent color. I think it's a very nice sports piece. So I do prefer the design of the Pro, but it is noticeably thick given the 39mm case diameter, and I know some watch collectors consider the height of the Pro a deal breaker, and that's not going to be the case with this new 58 GMT. This 58 looks and wears thinner, and again, I think a lot of watch collectors will really enjoy that, and they will prefer the fit of the 58 GMT to that of the Pro. Now, will Tudor release other colors of the Black Bay 58 GMT in coming years? I have no inside information, so I can only give you my own opinion, but I think that they will. Tudor has known of the desire for this specific watch, the Black Bay 58 GMT, since they released the basic Black Bay 58 several years ago. I don't think that this will be a one and done type of model. I could be wrong, but I would imagine there will be other colors and possibly different bracelet designs that come out in future years. I think that would be very wise on Tudor's part. Very similar to how the Black Bay GMT went from Pepsi to root beer and then to Pepsi with an opaline dial. That slowly expanded over the years as a product line, and I think that we will see something similar with this 58 GMT. Again, I think it would be a good idea for Tudor to implement, as would be thinning out the 41mm GMT size a little bit, not a lot, but thinning it out slightly and continuing to expand with different colors and converting the certifications over to master chronometer and then converting the clasp system to a T-fit clasp. I think that would also be good moves to consider from the parts of Tudor. Let me know if you have any questions about this new Black Bay 58 GMT. I would be happy to respond to you in the comment section. You're also welcome to send me a private email. It might take me a couple weeks to get back to you, but I promise I'll get back to you if you want to send me an email. And then lastly, just to close out this video, I would like to commend Brent Miller Jewelers for putting on an incredible event. Just going to Massive Caverns has got to be one of, if not the coolest venue to have a watch event, and they did it right. Ryan Miller and his team are amazing. If you ever get a chance to visit the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area, definitely stop in, say hi. They're a family-owned brick-and-mortar authorized dealer that does it right. Links are below. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.
Divided by deception, but together we must rise. Deafened by the naive while we silence the wise. So sit back, relax, begin. It's too early for surrender, too late.